When I first started this YouTube channel, I made a promise to myself, and that was I was never going to do an overtly teachy, classroomy type video. But I've had so many people recently talking about time incorrectly that I have decided I'm going to do a proper teachy type thing about how to talk about time. I'm getting tongue-tied just trying to say that. So with that, I've had to go out and find my teachy stuff that I used to have from when I used to do classroom things. In fact, have you seen this? I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. But I always carried this when I used to do lessons because it proves a point that I always say about English. If the GH sound in enough is pronounced F, and the O in women makes a short I sound, and the TI in nation is pronounced sh, then the word gehati is pronounced just like fish. Welcome to the English language. And that's so true. Everything in English language is just a mess. But never mind, we're talking time today, and with time, it's not a mess. So I have a clock. Let's get into this. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know who I am, I'm Mr. Josh. If you're new here, you should subscribe and hit the like button because I need the attention. I'm a needy person. So I'm probably going to spend a lot of time in this video looking at my screen over here to see if things are in focus and what have you. So you'll have to excuse that. Just get over it. So let's start with the very basics, okay? And I'm going to tell you straight away that what I'm going to tell you probably contradicts what's in most grammar books. In fact, I know it does. But I'm going to tell you how regular people do it. Now, let's assume that you and I are making arrangements to meet tomorrow, and we both understand that we're meeting in the morning. So if you wanted to meet at this time, you would just say to me, let's meet at 9. Nothing more. You don't need to get elaborate about it. This is just 9. So you could just say, let's meet at 9, or let's meet at 10, or let's meet at 6. Although, if you ever do suggest to me that you want to meet at 6, you're going to get told what you can do with your idea in very graphic terms. So just don't do that. But anyway, so you can just say like that. If you wanted to be a little bit more formal, you could say, let's meet at 9 o'clock. But it's not really necessary. It's just as easy just to say 9. We understand it's o'clock. Now, the o'clock thing is only used with whole hours. So again, it's 9 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock. It doesn't matter if it's morning, afternoon, it's just o'clock. Now let's say we're making arrangements to meet, but we don't know whether we're talking about the morning or the evening. This is where the whole AM and PM thing comes in. So you might want to say, let's meet at 6 p.m. because that's what you would say for the evening, 6 p.m. It is not 6 o'clock p.m., it is just 6 p.m. The o'clock now doesn't feature, okay? Forget the o'clock, we don't need it anymore. We only use it in the earlier example. So, as I said, so we have 6 p.m., which would be the afternoon. If you said 6 a.m., obviously that's the morning. And again, don't ask me to meet at 6 a.m., it's not happening, all right? But it's just 6 a.m. Now we come to the bit that everyone keeps screwing up in new and inventive and creative fashions. And is the whole reason why I'm sitting here talking to you now. So let's go back to the beginning. This is 9. It's 9 o'clock, it's 9 a.m., it's 9 p.m., it's whatever you want it to be. But this is not 9:30 o'clock. It is not 9:30 a.m. or p.m. or anything else, right? This is 9:30. In English, when we talk about time, we talk about the small pieces first before we talk about the whole hour, which is contrary to a lot of other language. Like here in Spain, it is literally quite correct to say it's 7:30, 7:30. But not in English. In English, it's the other way around. We say the small bits first, so it would be 7:30. There's only 4 words that you really need to actually study and remember. Those words are quarter and half, and then past and to. Let me just change this clock a little bit. So as you can see, I've divided the clock into 2 halves. Over here it says past, over here it says to. So basically when we're talking about time, when the minute hand is in this segment, everything is past. It is 5 past, it is 10 past, it is quarter past. Or all the way down here, it is now 6:30. However, the minute you go past this marker, everything becomes 2. We're saying how many minutes is it until the full hour. So like this, for example, is 5:45. And up here would be 5 to 6. Because you're saying how many minutes is it until you reach the full hour. Again, this is the reverse to a lot of other languages. Like in Spain, they say it is 6 minus 5 minutes. Which seems like a very crazy way to say it, but hey, it works for them. And that is the basics of telling time in English. It really is that simple. Actually, I forgot one. Sorry, I forgot one. Another way that you can actually talk about time is to literally say what you're looking at. This time, for example, you can just say is 8:15, or that this is 8:25, or like this you could say is 8:50. You can literally just say what it is. And again, you only add the AM and PM if the other person doesn't know that you're talking about one time or the other. I know that I haven't talked about the 24-hour clock, or sometimes called military time, but that's another bucket of frogs altogether, and I'm not getting into that today. So I hope that made some kind of sense to you, and you now know how to tell the time in English correctly. I'm gonna go. Don't forget, subscribe, like, all that sort of nonsense, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.